Barbadians vote for a new government, and in sport, PCL champions Guyana Jaguars retain the core of the unit in yesterday's draft. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, May 24th. I'll be back with the details after the break. Barbadians are today voting to elect a new government. The incumbent Democratic Labour Party, led by Frundle Stewart, is seeking a third term in office, while the Barbados Labour Party is looking to make history by electing Mia Mottley as the first female Prime Minister. 7 parties and 11 independent candidates are contesting today's poll. CMC's Peter Richards has been up and around since the polls opened at 6 o'clock this morning and filed this report.
Barbadians are on Thursday voting to elect a new government with a high probability that a woman creating history and becoming Prime Minister. The 542 polling stations scattered across the island opened at 6 a.m. local time and will close 12 hours later. The Electoral Commission said an estimated 255,654 voters are eligible to cast ballots in the election, and some voters turned up long before the polling stations opened. While the record shows 135 candidates and 7 political parties vying for control of the 30-member parliament, the contest is seen as a straight fight between the incumbent Democratic Labour Party, the DLP, of Prime Minister Frundle Stewart, and the main opposition Barbados Labour Party, the BLP, headed by attorney Mia Mottley. There have been no time indicated as to when Mr. Stewart will cast his ballot, but Mottley is expected to do so at 2:30 Barbados time. There has been no published opinion polls leading up to the election that Prime Minister Stewart called more than a month after the last parliament was automatically dissolved. But political observers and media commentators believe that Mr. Stewart, who led the DLP into a 16-14 victory in the 2013 general election, faces a tough task in repeating the feat. If Mottley becomes victorious, she will join the likes of the late Dame Eugenia Charles of Dominica, Janet Jagan of Guyana, Portia Simpson Miller in Jamaica, and Kamala Persad-Bissessar in Trinidad and Tobago, in heading a government in the CARICOM region. Unlike the situation in several other CARICOM countries, there are no election observers from the regional or international community, and counting of the ballots will begin 2 hours after the polls close. The supervisor of elections, Angela Tiller, said the electoral department is prepared for the general election. On Wednesday night, the 2 main political parties staged their final rallies in the capital, urging voters to go out early and cast their ballots.
Customs and Excise Division officers in Trinidad and Tobago yesterday intercepted a multi-million-dollar cocaine shipment that was destined for another Caribbean country. TV6's Mark Bassant reports.
Stashed in coffee bottles, close to $20 million in cocaine weighing 43.9 kilograms were found by officers of the Customs and Excise Division at the Queen's Wharf in Port of Spain on Wednesday. The officers cordoned off the area under a shed to secure the illegal drugs as they set out to weigh it. Customs and police sources familiar with the operation told TV6 News that the cocaine shipment was bound for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and was to be loaded on the Elizabeth II ship that was expected to leave Trinidad in the next 2 days. TV6 News understands that the officers had the shipment under surveillance since Tuesday night. When the boxes were opened, the cocaine was found hidden in coffee bottles. Sources believe that the traffickers had already shipped out a quantity of the cocaine via another vessel and believe they might have interrupted a major trafficking operation.
In Grenada, hundreds of people with criminal records are expected to have those records expunged as a result of the establishment of a rehabilitation board. Chaired by Attorney General Dr. Lawrence Joseph, the 5-member board includes representatives from the Ministry of Social Development, the Police Force, and the Office of the Prime Minister. During yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing, Joseph said the board will receive applications from offenders who want their records removed from the Criminal Records Department. But this will only apply to offences that fall within certain categories. Convictions for murder, voluntary manslaughter, robbery with violence, arson, and any indictable offence carrying a penalty including imprisonment for a term of 15 years or more of imprisonment will not be or will not qualify. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next.
The top 4 race between Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool are heating up, and the relegation battle continues. Before the games on Wednesday, there was a 2-point difference between 5th place Chelsea and 3rd place Liverpool. For Chelsea to sneak into the top 4, they needed Tottenham to draw or lose their next 2 games along with Liverpool, and they had to win the remaining 2 games of the season.
After falling out of the top 10 on the Billboard Reggae Album charts, I-Octane's 3rd studio album, Love and Life, makes a big comeback, leaping from number 30 to 10 this week. Love and Life contains 19 tracks, including collaborations with Shaggy, DeMarco, Ginger, J-Boog, and Romain Virgo. The set sold an additional 55 copies, up from 16 copies the previous week.
Four-time reigning champions Guyana Jaguars made little addition to their squad during a low-keyed professional cricket league draft in Antigua yesterday, but remained confident of a successful outing in the upcoming domestic campaign. Jaguars retained the core of their 15-man unit, picking up teenager Seema Javier Spencer to bolster their fast bowling ranks. The 18-year-old Antiguan played 5 matches during last year's Super 50 for West Indies under-19s. Meanwhile, Barbados Pride have secured the services of former West Indies under-19 fast bowler Marquino Mindley for the upcoming season. Now, the 23-year-old has already played 23 first-class matches, 2 of which came at the back end of last season for his native Jamaica Scorpions. Like Pride, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force have added a fast bowler to their ranks, with West Indies T20 speedster Odean Smith being picked up in the draft. The 21-year-old made his debut on the recent tour of Pakistan, where he played 2 matches. And meanwhile, West Indies A-leg spinner Damian Jacobs will turn out for Leeward Islands Hurricanes, while Barbados Pride all-rounder Kenroy Williams has signed up for Jamaica Scorpions. The 4-day tournament will bowl off later this year. And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.